Hi there, welcome back to my channel, Hazelnut. Today I want to make a video in honor of Suicide Prevention Month. We are now in September, and September is Suicide Prevention Month. I wanted to share my brother's story today. He passed away in 2022, September 18th. And I just want to share his story because I've been thinking about community a lot and how we need each other. And so here goes his story. Brother Chris, my brother Chris, and my sister as well. We grew up here in LA. Our parents didn't have a lot of money, still don't. And we moved around a lot as kids. We went to school really early, before school even started, and then we would get picked up from the after school program like pretty late, and so we didn't spend much time with our parents as children. And when we did, when we were home with them, they're not very present because of their own reasons. They're just not very present. And just a little background on my dad. Both my parents are actually from the 1950s, and so they have a very different mentality than what many people have today. And as for my dad, both my parents only went up to like the 5th or 6th grade. They only did elementary, and then they were taken out of school. And my dad worked in the field pretty much since after elementary up to 15, 16 when he ran away, because my dad worked in the field and he never got any of the profit, of course. He was raised by his grandparents, so my dad was pulled away from his mother at like toddler age, maybe even as a baby, I don't know. But he never grew up with his mom. He grew up with his grandparents, and which is my great grandparents. And so he was raised by a different mentality as well, like an older generation. And when my dad was a teenager, he always asked for a bike and he never got it. And that is the reason why he ran away. And he just worked like in TJ. He did different jobs, bartending sometimes. Even helped with the Coyotes. From what I know. And as for my mom, she was the second of 8 children, and so she didn't have an easy life either. Only went up to like the 6th grade. And so this is the mentality that we were raised with, right? And so not very much emotional support. And so naturally we find support where we can. And my brother found comfort in the wrong crowd. And so he was led the wrong way, the blind leading the blind. And so he got locked up like in high school. First time he got locked up was in high school. And he just wasn't doing very well. Fast forward to 2015. and he was also doing drugs. Fast forward to 2015, he was released. He had some beef with somebody, and so he started using meth in order to stay awake. But you know, if you don't sleep, it's gonna affect everything if you don't sleep for days. And he was getting really paranoid. And one time it was late at night, and he had asked my mom to pick him up, and my mom was like, no, like, I have to work tomorrow morning, like, I can't be always picking you up wherever the hell you were at, doing whatever the hell you were doing. And so my mom was like, no, this time I'm not gonna pick you up. And she said, you can find your own way home. And so he did. And when he arrived, he was aggressive. He was being aggressive, and I believe my older brother called the cops on him because he was just not well. When the cops came, my brother Chris jumped the fence, and the cops didn't go after him. They were just like, oh well. And the next morning, my brother was found by a neighbor on the side of the street or something. He had a head injury, and he was pretty much left to die. So that happened. He had a fracture in his skull. He lost hearing from one side I forgot what year. He lost hearing, and with the hearing loss, he also lost his balance, and he lost like a couple of years of memory too. He even called me by my sister's name. So things were not looking